who is call-in user number 2? Please identify yourself.
I'm not sure what number I am. It doesn't say, but this is Poonam from the Sully District Office.
Thank you so much. Now we know who you are. You are number 2, call-in user number 2. Thank you so much. Okay, I am going to add to the concocted of things that we have here, camera, that we will hope to be able to see what's happening. We have the ability to show the screen. So I'm going to go on to the agenda and share this. Hold on 1 second. And let me go here and share. I want to share Firefox. Okay. Okay. And now I'm going to share, open another page and open the PPTX. So it'll be there when we need to. Okay, so can everybody see the agenda in front of you? Does everybody see that? I'm sharing the screen. Thumbs up. Okay, so we have a guest tonight, and I'm going to go over quickly the agenda. One of the things I want to point out that we have a YouTube channel, and that anybody can see past events. We have them here, and you can see what you want. So you can click on the link and go to the Sully District Council on YouTube and follow along and look at your highlights of the things that you like best. Okay? All the static, all the, this isn't working. We're getting it right yet. But in any case, I think we're recording. So let me make sure we're recording. That's, and are we recording? I think we're recording. Does it say we're recording, Jim? Hold on 1 second. And record. Record is in progress. Yeah, it is. So we're recording. So that means we will actually have this in a new video that we'll have. Okay. So there we are sharing. Let me point out also, our next meeting is on the 22nd, and that's the Sully District Council. We're going to go with the budget. Jim Neighbors, the secretary, has updated the land use matrix. It's available here. And this is our discussion for tonight. And if you could pronounce that for me. Good, good. I don't want to try mispronouncing, which is what I will do. So I'm going to turn it over to whoever would like to be turned it over to. Who's going to be making the presentation? Don't all jump up at once. But I want somebody to come up here. Okay, so I have on this here, and I'm going to make this full screen, right? Page width. Okay, so on this, come up front. Remember, the speaker's here. You're not, speaker's here. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to have you do is this is what you're going to look at in the presentation. And just like any other machine, page up, page down, advances that. Okay, page up, page down, right? And I'm going to get the video going so people can see everybody as we do this. In the meantime, I'm going to make this a little bit better because it's not yet.
So would you like me to grab a chair?
Please, however you'd like to be.
I want you to be comfortable.
I'm not going to sit here. I'm going to sit over there, page fit. And I want to make this full screen, right? And I want to make this presentation mode, which is, I don't know. Oh, there we go. Okay. And I think that does it.
I think I'll just say.
Oh, is this, excuse me?
I'll say a few words to the introduction, and then I'll have our engineer.
Okay.
He can go over the slides.
Okay.
He has more.
Whatever you had before was working, and then it went away.
What do you mean by
Gray
what was working?
screen
Can you
now.
hear us?
I can hear you. There you go. Your picture was there and then it went away, but now it's back.
Is it there now?
Yes.
Okay. So, all right then. Here's the speaker for the people who are speaking. Here's the microphone for the people here are speaking. And I'm gonna get the video camera set up. And I'll let you go.
Let me know when you're ready or when.
We are as ready as we'll ever be.
Shall I start?
Please do.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let me start this evening by introducing myself. My name's Rajiv Khanna, and I'm a physician working here in the immediate neighborhood. Today, we are here to speak in support of our application for expansion of Rajdhani Mandir. It's one of the oldest Hindu temple in Northern Virginia. With the change in time, with the change in the population, it's time we need to expand our services, expand our area to better serve our community. I'll have our engineer, Mr. Hamid, he can go over the technical details about it, and I'll just take a couple of minutes to introduce myself. I'm not going to talk to you about what kind of physician I am or what do I do. I just go over the ties to the community. I started working in Loudoun and Fairfax County 26 years ago. I was present when we broke ground for Innova Loudoun Hospital. It's disbanded now. I was part of the executive committee when we built the Stone Springs Hospital under HCA on Route 50, close to Rajdhani Mandir. I have two offices, one in Fairfax County, just off of Centerville Road in Herndon, and the other office is in Sterling, Loudoun County. So I've been, and I live in Loudoun County, so I have ties to this area for more than 26 years. That's quite a bit of loyalty I have developed to this area. You guys are all very well aware of how the population denominations have changed over time. We used to be a small temple serving a population of 10, 15,000. And if I understand correctly, subject to correction, we have a huge increase in the number of population. The other thing that sets our temple apart is right from the day one, unlike other religious places where you have one denomination or one faith catering to the congregation, we have close to 21, 22 deities that serve different Hindu communities or ethnicities. They are all the subgroups of Hindus. That's a long subject, but point is that we do not cater to one ethnicity. We cater to multiple subgroups under one Hindu umbrella. So as the population has increased, one population increases, then another sect of population comes in, which has put a lot of pressure and stress on the prayer hall. We do not have a proper kitchen. We do not have classroom. We do not have a place to get together. So with those things in mind, we have bought some land around the temple and have tried to judiciously go over the plans and increase our presence. I would invite Mr. Hamid to go over and tell you what do we have in mind. Please. And please, if there are any questions, we are here to answer those. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to put this on pause for a minute and stop sharing while I make some technical changes. Okay. Okay, continue sharing. And okay. So, are you going to continue sitting here or are you going to stand up and point?
Doesn't matter to me.
Okay, then why don't you sit here and I will have that facing you. Okay. And I will now share again.
Jeff?
I don't want to share that. Cancel. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say anything, but when this comes up, I'm going to recuse myself. I may watch tonight, but I don't think I'll be participating. Thank you.
Okay, well, there's a second item that you might want to,
Here or at the BZA.
okay, there's a second item that you might want to be around
Stick
for.
around. I'll be around.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Share the screen here. Okay, now in the corner, you should be able to see the speaker through the camera. Okay. And I see something. Okay, so now let's look there. You see? There you go. Okay. All right. I'm going to sit down now. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna have to be able to page up and page down, so. Okay, great.
Okay. Go ahead. Oh, this is the worst.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Hamid Matin. I'm with Professional Design Group. I'm the civil engineer for this project. As Dr. Khanna already explained, this site has been existence for a long time. A few years back, we expanded the parking lot. We have about 8,000 square foot of building currently on the site. And the location of the site is basically, let me go to the next.
Are you okay with the track there?
Yes. Okay. The existing site is on the north side of Pleasant Valley Road, right across the street from Herndon intersection. It's about 5.5 acres. It is, as you can see, there is a lot of parking in front of it, and the building is pretty small in the back. There is a stormwater management next to it. The new parcel that they have purchased is on the south side of the Herndon Road. As you can see, I have highlighted it in red. That is about 9.7 acres altogether. And we are probably about a mile from Route 50. So it is, that's the location of the site. The total acreages of the existing temple site is 7.87 acres. Right now we have a total undisturbed open space that we can provide of 107,000 square feet. The existing temple is 8,000 square feet. And we would like to expand our plan is to expand the building to 32,885 square feet. There, as I said, we have already expanded the parking. We have existing 297 parking spaces. The code requires 175 space. With the expansion, we think that the number of we're going to have about 2.35 patrons per every space. Currently the maximum capacity of the center is 250. we believe we are proposing a maximum capacity of 700 square feet, 700 people, sorry. Right now, basically the existing building is from this line to this line. We are proposing to expand it on this side. That's on the existing site. This is the elevation that our architect has proposed. When we go to the site, this is the way the site is current. This is the existing conditions. There is a storm detention pond on this location back here. The existing building is sitting here, and the rest is parking. We have two access, one across Herndon Avenue. This is a in and out access, and we have another access here. That's the right out only access to Pleasant Valley. We're proposing that the building to be expanded. This is the expanded area. The existing building again is here. The first phase of the construction would be expanding the pray hall, and also administrative building would be expanded back here. So that would be the first phase. The second phase would be an addition to the back of the building, which contains this area here. And the last phase would be the phase which is the senior center area, which would include that. Again, the majority of our, we're doing very little work to the site. The site, the amenities would remain the same. It's just the building that would be expanded. Then we have adequate parking as it is right now. As I said, it's about 2.35 people per every space, which is much better than most religious facilities provided in this area. When we go to across the parcel, parcel 13 is across the land. That one is 9.69 acre. The total open disturb that we are providing is 271,814 square feet. It's going to be a proposed community center. It's 13,600 square foot of building. We're providing 132 spaces, parking spaces. By code, we're required to have 54 spaces. With the addition, the rate would be again 2.27 petrols per space. Proposed maximum capacity would be 300 occupancy. That's the architectural rendering of the front elevation of the proposed building. This is a rendering of the site. Pleasant Valley is at the bottom. This is Pleasant Valley Road back here. This is where our site plan is. Pleasant Valley is here. Park Authority is properties across the street. The golf course is across the street. All this area in the back will be open space, undisturbed open space. We're not touching anything in the back. We are proposing an underground stormwater management. We're expanding the Pleasant Valley Road. We're doing improvements on it, Pleasant Valley Road, so we can have a right turn lane into the site. as I said, this is basically a community center for community gatherings where they don't have room right now at their center. So this would be using for that. What we have done so far is we have applied for our application with the county. We are briefing the Sullyfield District Council. We are expecting our public hearings going to be in May, sometimes in May. We have received comments from a staff that we're going to be working with the staff to address those comments. After our plans are approved, oops. As I said, the staff has already reviewed our application. Okay.
Goodbye. That's,
I didn't touch anything.
they need to continue touching it. That's it. That's it. All right, hold on.
Keep doing this, okay? The staffing and review, we have to address. We're working on community information. We already have one meeting with the community in after we address the staff comments, we will send out public notices, and then we're going to have the public hearing. Once the public hearing is done, we still have to go through a site plan process to get our permits.
Okay. Do you have anything else to say on that?
That's it.
Okay.
I'm going to open it up to any questions that anybody has for me.
What?
Our services, it's in here. Let me get to it. Wait, sorry. Our hours of operation, basically, there's no change in the hours of operation. It was from before. Weekdays is 8 to 12 p.m. On 4:30 to 9 p.m. On weekends is 8 to 9 p.m. And that goes for both. It goes for both centers.
I would like to qualify further. Sure. So basically, the temple is open from 8 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. and then 4:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. And as we mentioned later, it's a staggered thing. As I mentioned earlier, that there are multiple deities. So a certain subset of people would show up on Monday, or somebody would show up on Tuesday, or somebody would show up on Thursday. So it's not like any other, like a mosque or a church where you only have one Sunday service, 700 or the whole congregation would come. So everybody is coming. So for example, I'll just give you an example. One of our busiest day is January 1st, when everybody wants to start their year with a visit to temple. So we are open like right in the morning. So whosoever is in our congregation can come at 8 a.m. before they go to the office during lunch hour, whenever they get time. So you have a staggered people coming in and going through. You do not have like 10,000 people showing up for one thing. And so it's always staggered. So that's why we're not changing the hours or anything. It's just to provide them with better service. We have about 9 major holidays in a year. And those days you would expect more, even with the more number of people coming in. And we've had them in the past. It's not that population is going to increase in next 2 years. It's already there, the jump in population. So in those major holidays, we've had issues with parking issues, which we got solved by having more parking than we need. And that we used to have problem with the curb run 5, 7, 10 years ago, not anymore. Not only that, we have reached out to supervisor county's office and have sought help, and we have actually paid for police presence over there to take care of our traffic. I remember we used to pay $40, $35 an hour for the cop to come in. Now it's $140, or even if we can get them, because they're also running into staff shortage. But we do not have that kind of rush or problem as we used to have before our parking lot was done. So even with the expansion and all, we do not expect suddenly a new 10,000 people would show up. The population is already there, and they are coming to the temple. It's just that the way we had issues with the parking spot, we had 87, and we wanted more, but we were running to how to justify. And I take my own example. When I started living in Loudoun County, I had 3 kids going to Virginia Tech. Initially, they were little middle schoolers. We would pile up in one car, all 5 of us would come to the temple. The kids grew up, and so we have now suddenly 3, 4 cars in our own household. It's the same family, but now there are 4 cars going through the area. Similarly, and you know it better than me, how the population dynamics have changed. So we had more population, we had more traffic coming in, which we were able to solve with our parking space. Now we do not have that kind of problems. But going further, we're looking into future. We've divided the project into 3 phases. It's not going to be done tomorrow. We plan to finish phase 1, and we still have to raise money, got to go through the whole thing. So looking into future, for the future proofing and how things are, keep it simple, keep it in the community. So that's why we're looking at this expansion. Yeah. There he can better answer.
The existing site will have 3 phases, and the community center would be the last phase. Phase 4. Phase 4 would be Phase 4 would be the community center.
We are not adding any new activity. See, we already have some classes like a chess club or a carrom board club or ping pong. So we have one hall, half of the size. Okay, morning we started to put up table tennis tables and they're playing ping pong. And then we take the tables away and put another table, and there's a chess club going on. I can show you emails this morning, 2 board members fighting for place. Okay, I meet 10 a.m. to 12 noon in the boardroom. Now we have a board meeting on that day. So we're going to push our board meeting to 12:30 so that we can provide them room. So we need classes, the classroom. Activities numbers has not changed. That we need more space. No.
I mentioned senior center. That means residential or just walking?
No, this thing we already have, like, for example, the senior center in Sterling and Leesburg. So people will come in like a couple hours a day. No, there's no. Yeah.
No, it's not a residential.
It's not a residential.
Sorry.
Yeah.
We also have done an extensive traffic study, and both Herndon Avenue, the intersection, and both of our intersections, they pass with flying C.
Yeah.
Right.
One of the questions we have is, what is the proposed construction schedule?
Just like any other church, mosque, or religious facility, all has to do with how much money they get. We have right now, after our BZA approval or first phase, we have to go through a site plan process. I do not see this starting for another year. It would take about a year to get phase to get completed. And then the second phase, hopefully will start right after that. And at the third phase, right after that. So
I would like to add a comment there. This is the best case scenario which Mr. Hamid has put in. It took us 7 years to get expansion of the parking space from 87 to that. 7 years. So please add, you are a better judge.
Because
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so, we would love to do that and raise money, but I know it's not gonna happen, or we gonna go through due process.
We have to go through approval process. The parking took a long time to get that.
Any other questions?
I got a question, Jeff.
The senior center, no, that's it.
I got a question, Jeff. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Jim, was somebody asking a question from the street, audience?
Can you hear me, Jeff? I got a question.
He has a question, then we'll turn it over to the Peter Shaw.
Yeah,
So phase one is expansion of the rate.
yeah, prayer hall and admin.
And two,
Back in the building for a kitchen and a small, like, auditorium.
The auditorium.
so it's the sewers. And where does the communities?
That's
That's phase four process and across. Yes, yeah.
Jim had a question now? We're gonna ask people,
Jim, you had a question?
I thought John had a question and he was talking, but I couldn't hear him.
Can you hear me
I
now?
didn't say anything.
Jeff, can you hear me now?
we can hear you now.
Can you hear me now? Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. My question was, since you have 21 different denominations within this church, do you envision the whole parking lot leaving at one time?
Do that. So
Can you repeat that question one more time?
Sure. If the whole parking lot's full because of a lot of participants at your different services, do you envision them all leaving at one time, or will they kind of come and go depending on which denomination is in session?
That's what I explained earlier, and it's in our statement also. We always have a staggered services. We've never needed 21 like different sets of people coming in at the same time for any one particular activity.
Do you have a
Except,
number?
as I mentioned, our busiest day is January 1st, where, like, regardless of whichever sect you are, just as a human being, you want to start your new year with a visit to temple. Even those days, we do not have like 5 to 7 p.m. Everybody would come. It's staggered all over the day, like starting in the morning and going in the afternoon and evening. So to answer your question precisely, there is no one certain event where we would expect all 21 denomination following people to show up at the temple.
So, how many spaces in your parking lot? Again, I missed that.
So we have right now 297.
297. Of the 297, of the 297, how many would leave at one time?
No, I don't understand the question. We do not use like we're not going to use 297 spaces at the same time. There are different times. There are different number of cars or people coming in at the temple. So we do not have one event where all 297 would come in or leave.
But just on an estimate, ballpark figure, when a session's over, the busiest session of the day, about how many cars would be leaving at one time?
So 125 maximum.
Okay, that's fine. That's less than half. Thank you.
Yeah.
That won't affect the road.
But less than that, our transportation engineer came up with when they leave, normally when people come in, they spend about 15 to 20 minutes, so half an hour at the maximum, and they leave. So the flow going out is, you probably won't get to even 100 vehicles.
Okay. I'm thinking, so if those 100 people leave all at once, it'll take them 10 minutes to get out of the lot at the most.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That's a good situation.
Any other questions?
The community center will be basically across from the temple.
Yes.
My concern is, how many pedestrians will be going from one to the other? Pedestrians are becoming targets anymore, so there's the concern that accidents.
That's a very good question. We don't envision that the community center will be used for mostly things, ceremonies like weddings and celebrations. And nobody goes from the church or from the temple to the community center and vice versa. We don't see that happening. We are proposing a crosswalk, and there is a trail along the park authority property which connects to the trail that the temple constructed in front of the property. So there is access, pedestrian access, if it needs to be provided. We don't see that happening.
So we would like to run community center independent of religious ceremonies, so that there is no flow like we come here, go there, or back. No, this is small. No.
Everything is in one place.
One place.
The wedding and the ceremony, the whole reception, the whole thing is one place. That's the community center.
We started, we had one here, Mr. Park, can you?
How many walking distances? Still,
Like our congregation walking in? No.
I mean, some people, other congregations move so they can walk and not experience the services.
No.
They walk in the
Yeah, no. And we don't encourage that. Yes, sir. Yeah.
If you have any concerns, what we should do. We wish you Godspeed.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Good time.
Same.
Thank you for coming. And we look forward to hearing more as this happens. It's good to see some of the members who participated in counting decades from millennium. And you're welcome if you live in Sully District. Your community association is welcome to become a member of the Sully District Council. So if you live in an HOA community, on Virginia one, what's yours again? Sully Highlands. So, Joy, being a member of us, sit on this side of the table. Be one of us.
Yeah.
Okay? The more you do that, the bigger we are, the better we are, the more we represent the community.
As a temple, we tried to be a good community member. During COVID times, we reached out to Kathy Smith's office and asked them whatever help you need. So we've donated money. The temple has donated money to county for food runs and for high school food program. Whenever they needed like a forklift or anything, the temple has openly helped. So it's actually part of the community. Thank you.
Stop this projection. We have another item on the agenda tonight, Parking Reimagined, or a nightmare scenario.
You can leave.
You're free to leave.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let me finish this. Okay, so I can turn off the projector. No, I'll leave it on. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, let's look at the second item on the agenda. So I'll let everybody leave and then we'll cover this before we go. Thank you for coming tonight. Okay. As many people are aware, the county has been planning for a parking reimagined. They've had meetings, we've spoken about it. And I don't think we, as a Sully District Council, have generated a position, but through communications, and I thank you, Jim. I think you were the one who provided this to us. Jim Hart?
I didn't hear the question.
I think I got this letter from the RCA via your communication. Or somebody else.
Yeah, I think I got it and I forwarded it. It's probably.
That's what I did. So we have a letter from the Reston Citizens Association, which basically says they think there's a problem with it. And the letter is linked from the agenda, if you've got a copy of the agenda. In any case, they go through it, and the final point being is, with all due respect, this proposal is not ready for prime time, and a delay would, we believe, help to address the numerous concerns that craft the proposal. They then go on to issues with parking reimagined. So my question is, do we as a Sully District Council wish to piggyback or endorse the RCA position?
Hey, Jim, this is Jim. Hey, is this for new development or existing? So this gets passed and they will go in and change visitor spots and change numbers retroactively, or are you grandfathered in on existing development?
I think there's a lot of confusion about that. And I think, in fact, even if I understood the emails yesterday, one of the supervisors is confused. But as a threshold matter, let me just back up a second. Jeff, I had also forwarded, I think, 2 letters or resolutions from EQAC, and EQAC was also very much opposed to some aspects of this. To Jim's question, I believe, and I think this is what staff said, I think I watched 2 of the video or the Zoom meetings. In general, the new formulas would apply to new construction, but at the same time, the administrative reductions that are proposed, and I think that the board hasn't authorized this yet. I think the vote is tomorrow, but if they authorize what's in the revised white paper on the website, the director would have the ability to do additional reductions of up to either 50 or 60% below the new formula amounts, if that makes sense. It's an administrative process rather than public hearing and a vote, but that the administrative reductions would have to apply to everybody. If you had a by right use or a use where the parking requirements weren't exactly proffered, I think that kind of existing situation, if I understood staff's answer, was yes, they can apply just like anybody else for administrative reduction. But for new construction, they would be, and they can apply, the new construction can apply for the administrative reductions only, also, excuse me, but if that's making sense, the new formula is for new, but everybody can apply for the administrative reduction. So I think the answer is it's both. And that's not a guarantee that an administrative reduction is granted, but it's kind of the tip of the iceberg. And I think if you had unproffered retail, if you had old apartments where the parking wasn't proffered, seems to me it's very tempting for the owner to then apply for the administrative reduction, get rid of some of the parking, and now they have some land freed up all of a sudden to do something else with. hope that's answering the question. I think, by the way, that there's several people who are on the, there was a citizen committee, which I guess has essentially been disregarded, but some of the folks on the committee were very unhappy, and I think some of them are going to ask that particular question. I don't know if it's tonight or Wednesday night or whenever. They have a meeting coming up. I think there's time to reinforce that, to get an answer from staff. But again, I thought staff unequivocally said across the board, new and old, anybody can apply for an administrative reduction. So the announcement that this applied to new only, I think, was in error. It wouldn't be the first time, but there's time to get that clarified.
Okay, thank you very much, Jim. I have a question then. This is just the Land Use Committee of the Board of Supervisors that's meeting tomorrow, right?
No, full Board of Supervisors will vote tomorrow on authorizing the advertising for what's on the website. The public hearing is coming right up. It's April 19th, so there's very little time for groups to weigh in. I mean, between the advertising and the public hearing is less than a month. So
okay,
if you're going to take a position, you'll do it now, because the public hearing will be before the next meeting, I assume, right about then.
All right, then. So right now, my question is, can we have people volunteer to generate a position? I assume that we're against it in the general principle, and there are more details involved, right?
Yes.
I assume so. I mean, I think Reston is going to have a whole parade of people. I think, as I say, EQAC is against it. There's going to be other folks. I signed up mostly because of the conflict with the disabled parking, and I've just been beating my head against the wall with staff on that.
Okay.
But I think there are different categories of objections from different people. The staff vetoed any advertising of any option for a trade-off such that a parking reduction would be in exchange for additional green space or additional tree save or something like that. Staff vetoed that, so there's no option for that. There's no requirement. I think that at that threshold matter, a lot of people dropped out of it. And I think that had potential as an idea, but that went away. There are people mad that 1.3 spaces for apartments is crazy low. The apartments are going to generate more than 1.3 cars per apartment. Those cars are going to have to park somewhere. They're probably coming out into the neighborhood. I think there are objections to the concept that the director can do these additional waivers of another 50 or 60% without notice to anybody, without a public hearing, without any input from anybody. I know Reston had a long list, EQAC had a long list. I'm probably leaving some things out, but there are, I think that I had expected that Sully District Council would be against it, WFCCA, different HOAs. And I think it's a countywide thing. This is a stink bomb, and I think that there's going to be a lot of speakers. I'm assuming the board authorizes it tomorrow, which I think is likely.
Okay, so my question to you is, Jim, can we ask you to do your magic letter writing?
I guess I can try. I will try and synthesize. I guess what I think that, I mean, I've seen enough emails. I don't know that I've seen one single email from anybody in support of this, at least as it is right now. I guess, do you want, like, who would be blessing it at the end, or how would we handle that?
When is the next, let me look at the calendar if I may. The next meeting of our organization, today's the 20th. So we will meet on the 17th of April. When is the next public hearing?
The night of the 19th.
Okay,
So
so
that's the plan.
we will have enough
And that's
time.
the same night, by the way, if you saw the other email, John Oldfelder had emailed Tom Bashadney because the Route 28 meeting is exactly the same time. And I think some people, like, I think Carol wanted to go to the Route 28 meeting, but now they're overlapping.
But the land use committee doesn't take public testimony, does it? Board meeting. It's a board.
No. The planning commission public hearing is April 19th. That's the
so what I'm
same
saying-
night as the Route 28 meeting.
Oh, okay, but my point being is that's 2 days after our April joint Sully District Land Use and
Yeah,
Transportation meeting.
if something was put together, you could vote on April 17 and present that on the 19th.
Exactly. And I will schedule a speaker from the joint Sully District Land Use and Transportation. I'll sign up to make that happen, okay?
Why don't you sign up for Sully District Council and then WCCA can have one too? You could have two,
Okay, well,
I assume. If there's I don't know if there's a speaker, but if there is, yeah, why not? Steve
Okay,
is right
all right.
behind you. You can call on him or John or somebody. Jeff, we lost the audio.
do you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay,
No, you're just
provide us about a week
speaking and
before.
crackling. I can't hear what you're saying.
Okay, so I'm hoping that you will be able to give us a draft a week before the meeting, which would make it be
I'm
10th
guessing
of
a
April.
little bit, but yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
That's
but
good. So
are you on board with Reston and EQUAC more or less?
yes.
Okay.
Okay, so that's going to be on our agenda for the April meeting, even if we don't have anything else. Right now, we have nothing planned for April, but that can change, of course. But this is what we'll talk about in April.
Jeff, let me just ask.
Yes.
I'm trying to be the scrivener, but if there's somebody has like a particular concern, shoot everybody an email so we can see what it is.
Okay, in the minutes that I will send out this week, I'll indicate that if you have concerns, please direct them specifically to your name, and that way they'll be able to reach out to you, okay? Thank you. Any comments, John? Anything you have to say?
No, but I think we should support the Reston folks tonight.
Okay, well, they sent a letter to their supervisor. Do we want to send a letter to Kathy saying we don't think it should be advertised?
No, I think it should be, the part I liked, they said, this needs more work. This is not ready for prime time. There's too many questions. Like Jim's good question. Is anybody grandfathered? We don't know.
The board vote is tomorrow, so there's not really time to get her a letter before that.
All right, then, so I think we have
We
time.
would send her a letter after, I guess, but not before the authorization.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. Okay, then, with that in mind, I thank you. And let me also go, wait, here's another point.
I was just, it seems like, we keep hearing talk about how
Hey,
the community.
Steve, get closer to the mic. You're breaking up.
Steve, I can't quite hear what you're saying.
Okay. Keep hearing talk of how people are becoming more.
No, we lost the audio.
We just lost the mic. We
I
lost
can
the
see
mic.
you, but I can't hear you.
Say it again.
Can you hear me now?
Why don't you sit down and talk to it?
It's in and out.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Perfect.
You can't hear me now.
Yes, we can.
You can?
Yes.
Can I hear you now? Thumbs up or down?
Okay. So we keep hearing about how people are becoming more and more aggressive. There's shootings all over the place. I used to live in Meadows of Newgate. I remember in the 70s, it's like, people were fighting over parking spaces then. And now, there's no parking anywhere. And people are becoming more and more aggressive. Do the police have any input on something like this?
Well, some of them would stay the same. I think it's
Can't hear you, Jim.
apartments is what's being reduced primarily, although there's some other changes.
I can't hear Jim.
Wait, Jimmy, wait. Let me look at Jim. Jim, hold on.
I can hear Jim.
Okay,
Jim is.
Are you on headphones?
Hold on.
I don't have headphones.
No, I don't want power off. I want to power on.
Powering on. You are now paired.
Can you
Enjoy.
hear me now?
Okay. Hold on. Technology challenged as we are, we want speakers to be here,
This is the best
And
we've
we
heard
want
all
them-
night, Jeff.
to be the speakers, headphones, and the microphone is Yeti. Okay, can you hear us now?
Yes?
Okay, Jim, can you say something?
Yeah, I was trying to answer Steve's question.
I cannot hear Jim. All right, we're going to try something else, Jim. Hold on.
I can hear Jim just fine.
Jim is going to use
I can hear John.
that. Okay,
I don't know what
this is
you
Jim's
did. I can
voice.
hear
We heard
John.
him.
Carol, can you
Let's
hear us?
try here. All right, Jim, say something now.
Now, can you hear me?
I don't hear him. Something's wrong. We lost you, Jim. One
I
second.
hear all of this. I don't know about any
Hold
of
on,
you.
Jim. Speaker, Epson. Or now say something.
Okay, can you hear me now?
We lost Jim.
Well, I'm still
We
here.
lost
I can
Jim's
hear
voice.
Carolyn.
Okay. All right, Jim, I can't hear you.
Well,
Let me see if I can figure out why we're not listening to Jim.
Hey,
We
hey,
used to
Jeff,
have Jim.
I can relay to Jim.
All right, microphone,
can
Yeti
John hear
microphone,
me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
headphones this way.
Carol, can you hear me?
We don't hear Jim. And I'm trying to
All
figure out
of
why we
you.
don't hear
I have
Jim.
heard all
So
of
hold
you
on
all
one second.
evening.
Oh, I know. Maybe this is it. Hold on. And the answer is somehow that was diminished. Okay, now Jim, say something.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
We can hear you now.
Okay, I can hear John and Carol, but I don't understand what's going on. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I was trying to answer Steve's
I can't
question.
hear. We lost the volume for some reason. I'm sorry that's not working. You can hear us, but
John,
we
can
can't
I
hear you.
you?
All right, try something now.
Can you hear me now?
No.
Jeffrey, can you hear
John,
me?
say something.
Jeff, be
We
quiet
lost
just for a
everybody's
second.
voice.
I'll relay for Jim. What do you want me to say?
I don't know why we lost people's voice. Okay.
Okay, what I was saying was, I can hear John
Unmute,
and I can
mute.
hear Carol.
Mute. No, Jim, we can't hear you. I don't know what happened. We just
John
lost the
can talk for
your
me.
inputs. So I wish everybody the happy March. We'll send out notices. Wednesday night, we're having the budget discussions on Wednesday night. Sorry. If you want to chat, hold on. Let me look at the chat.
Hey, Jeff.
Okay.
Hey, Jeff.
No major objection. All right.
Hey, Jeff.
Jim H. got the rested letter to everybody. Okay, everybody. I wish you best. Good
Jeff.
night.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Jeff, you want me to relay for Jim? Okay, goodbye.
Can't hear anybody. Write your chats. John can hear me. Can anybody hear? I can type. Please type.
Yes, I can hear you, but
Type away, please. Carol, John, Jim, type. John just hung up. Okay. Anybody else? Carol, Jim, thanks for joining us tonight. Good night, folks.
I mean, is that reasonable?
What's that?
My question.